around this. Hello and welcome to another episode of Lexx Education.
Same room edition.
Same room. It's the comedy science podcast where comedian me, Laura Lexx, tries to learn science from this same room brother, Ron.
Same room, hello.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
I've been listening to a very professional podcast lately. The rest is history, like a proper, very different to ours.
Yeah. Did you like the intros, outros I did last week?
I did. You're very Gary Marbles when left to your own devices.
Yeah, when I'm not having to shout over you.
But I was surprised you didn't want to tell stories all by yourself. But it did make me feel loved, like it's me you're talking to, not the listeners.
Yeah, I just kind of rambled, I think.
Yeah.
I did a good impression of you.
You did, yes. It was very horrible. I put a video out of us this week, and yet again, every time I put a video out, people go, "That's Ron!" Whoa! No, not what I was picturing. And now I'm curious as to what people were picturing.
What were people picturing?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Send in your drawings of how you pictured Ron before you saw him.
Yeah. I did some good begging for the Patreon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Didn't get any patrons, though.
No, threatening to price hike existing patrons doesn't really encourage new ones.
Maybe you should start a spreadsheet of things we've tried and the effect it's had on the Patreon uptake that week. And we could try hard love, like carrot stick, We could offer special offers, and we could properly look at how the marketing...
Attribution reporting, that's called.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
No.
Why?
Seems long, doesn't it?
Does seem long,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. How's your week been, Ron?
It's good. It's Wednesday.
You went to a wedding?
I went to a wedding. I'm here for a magic draft.
Yeah!
It's all good, really.
We're on tenterhooks as to whether Royal Mail's going to deliver it in time.
Yeah, they've said they would.
Ooh.
They've said they would by 7:30.
Yeah, which is when we'd probably start.
Yeah. We're going to have hummus for dinner, you've said.
Yeah, and falafel.
I love hummus.
Mm-hmm. You've eaten hummus twice since you've been here.
Mm.
You've only been here 15 hours.
On toast and on rice.
Yeah. Hummusy rice is an interesting one.
My friend Beffo introduced me to hummus pasta salad, where you just mix pesto and hummus to make the sauce. It's delicious. Because if you think about it, what is hummus if not just Greek pesto?
Yeah. I think my favourite thing about in the hummus discourse is, I want to say it's Adam Hess or maybe John Hastings' joke about how hummus and falafel is chickpea, and that is like dipping chips in mashed potato. That's the potato equivalent,
Yeah, that's strong.
Delicious. Listen, we have to confess, not only is this intros, outros done before Ron's heard the episode, we haven't recorded all of the episode yet. Ron wanted to do the intros, outros first, and then we're going to do a quiz in a minute.
Got to mix up the timeline.
Well, I guess what we could do, though, is we could listen to the episode now, then you and I will do the quiz, and then do an outro after that quiz.
I don't want to listen to the...
No, we're not going to sit and listen to it, but the listeners are.
We're sat cross-legged on the floor.
It does.
I don't want to just sit and listen to our own podcast with you right now, man.
It's like we're playing Jumanji up in the loft, sitting on the floor cross-legged, with a blanket between us for sound quality, because we're as professional as the rest is history in a lot of ways. I've learned so much. I'm listening to that one, and I'm listening to History on Fire, which is great, and that History of English one, and I'm learning so much about the whole world, Ron.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old bits of it.
Yeah. I'm learning I don't want to learn about the world currently, because I have to live in that. So I'd rather only know about the bits I'm coming into contact with. It's too big to worry about the whole world, whereas history has happened now, so we can just learn from it.
You don't have to worry about history.
No.
I think that's the comforting thing.
Yeah, I think that's why... Is that why we like it so much?
I think it's just... I think the tapestry of human achievement and all those stories is why we like it so much. But I think it's comforting because, they're like, oh, is Hannibal going to make it over the Alps? Spoiler alert, he did, and something happened after that.
Yeah.
But did the world end? For some people, yeah, lots of people died, but for others, fine.
I've already edited them. This is the most fucked up the podcast has ever been, because I've edited the main bulk, but we haven't recorded the quiz. Why have you put my glasses on? Do we play with people's glasses?
We can put them on. Is that a good look for me?
It's not bad, actually, if you needed glasses. But we have the same face, so of course they kind of work for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it.
They're a bit glamorous for you, maybe.
Yeah, I don't like the pageantry.
No. If you had to have glasses, you'd just have those ones with no frames, just glass.
Why is there just a lock here?
Because I bought it for you and Judith when you needed a lock to house Judith's bike when you lived in Brighton. And if you remember, when you left Brighton, everything you didn't want, you just left at my house. So here's this lock.
Yeah, I remember this lock now. I don't think you did buy this for me. I think you just had it and you gave it to me. It was still very nice of you. But I don't want this narrative that you were out buying locks for me. I don't know why you'd have done that.
Because I'm nice and you needed one.
I think you'd have said, you should go get a lock. No, I think you had this around.
Well, either way, that's where the lock came from. The
lock and key.
Yes, it's in my fucking there.
Great, because...
I assume, anyway, there's a guitar case. Don't look for it now. I tidied up this whole loft so he'd stop whinging about how gross it was, and now here he is just pulling stuff out willy-nilly. To the right, there's my black and red guitar case. I assume that's the guitar that's in there.
Nice.
With all of your Asterix books.
That's great.
And some records, I think.
Some records?
Maybe.
Probably ones I don't like very much.
Mm-hmm. Really glad they're here, buddy.
Dad's sad that he thought he lost this guitar.
Well, check if it's that one.
Okay.
It's climbing over a beanbag. They never do this on The Rest is History. They just research and then talk really kindly to each other, actually. And when they do banter, it's like jokes that they both know. They don't say, you've got horrible buck teeth. What? Here's the guitar case. I assume it's our dad's guitar. I'm going on a trip on my dad's boat next week.
It is Dad's guitar.
Hooray! Ooh, sounds mysterious. Anyway, I guess I'm sitting here now while Ron tunes a guitar. You guys can listen to the episode. Have a good time. 17 minutes till bread time, Ron.
T- bread.
Yeah, at 17 minutes. I bet you wish you had a 17-minute sound timer.
I could do a combo of them. I don't have them anymore.
No, where are they?
Don't know. Scattered to the wind.
Bloody hell, Harry. It's chemistry today.
Yes.
We're recapping chemistry these days. No. Are we? No.
No.
We must be nearly finished.
This might be the last chemistry app, Laura.
Ooh. Is it? Does that depend on how smart and brilliant I am?
It depends on, how much we get into stuff, how focused we are, I suppose.
Really focused. I'm going to be really... even though it's a rain episode.
It's not raining here.
Is it?
What are you looking at now?
It's Stephen Merchant.
Why are you just looking at pictures of Stephen Merchant?
What do you do on a Wednesday morning?
Just like topless pics.
No, bottomless. Tops on.
Winnie the Pooh style.
Yeah, I like men Donald Ducking. I want one hand in a pot of honey and some little cheeks poking out the bottom of your t-shirt. Cheeks, 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 cheeks.
Stephen Merchant's an interesting looking man, a very dramatic face.
Yeah, it looks like he was made in like Aardman Studios.
Yeah, I think when you watch anything Ricky Gervais has done post like extras, you realise quite how funny Stephen Merchant is.
I don't think I've watched much Ricky Gervais other than Extras was the only thing I really liked, I think. Afterlife looked bleak. I can't get on with the English Office. I've tried it and tried it and tried it. I just don't fall in love with it. What else has he done?
Ghost Town, I think one of them was called, where you could see dead people.
Did he actually write that, or was he just in it?
I don't know. The Invention of Lying.
Yeah, I don't think
Derek.
I've seen any of these things. No, I haven't seen Derek either.
No, Derek always smelt wrong.
Derek just looked a bit to me like, I don't think we're in a place where you want to be playing somebody with learning difficulties, do you? Like, it just seemed a bit like Little Britain 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never watched it, so I don't know. It could have been completely sensitively dealt with and very nice, but
I just don't really trust Gervais to do that. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. Yeah. So yeah, extras I think is the only thing. Well, obviously I love the American office and the English office, and Gervais had to exist for that to have happened. So that's great. And kind of Parks and Rec, which is arguably a spin-off from American Office originally in intention.
In some ways, yeah.
Well, that's what they originally pitched it as.
Yeah. But then Rashida Jones was in both, so...
Oh, yeah. I've never thought about that before, Ron.
Yeah.
It's a perpetual rain episode today. It's really coming down out there, Ron.
Wow.
There's going to be so many snails in my garden. They're doing a right number on my sunflowers. I wish all these birds that I can't afford to feed would just eat the snails. I'm providing you with a smorgasbord of snails and slugs. Eat those instead of my fat.
Fat balls, Henry Bells.
Can you hear the rain?
Why did I put my ear to the microphone? Now I can.
I held the microphone up to the Velux for you.
Did you know that rain is really hard to record? So, whenever you see rain, or often when you see rain in like a movie or TV or something, the sound of it is just frying bacon.
Is that a lie?
I think it's true. I saw it on the internet, so...
Sounds right, then.
Sounds right.
Not going to argue with the internet. I'm tired of having blocked sinuses, Ron.
Yeah, I've been ill for fucking ages, it seems.
What's going on? We're sick of this dreadful speckled mug.
God, remember the Harry Potter Puppet Pals?
Yes, I do.
That was...
I saw the other day on TikTok, I saw somebody doing like a spoof of the Potter Puppet Pals, and I was like, Potter Puppet Pals is so nostalgic now that people are doing like new versions of it on TikTok.
Crazy. The guy that did Harry Potter Puppet Pals, he did a bunch of other really funny videos as well. He's worth looking into. He did Brody Quest. He did a spoof of Lenny Kravitz's Dragonfly. Which is very, very funny.
Thank you, Joaquin Levinson.
I think I want to say his name's Neil Serrera.
Oh, I was close.
Let's have a look, shall we?
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't that be what we're doing? We're certainly not doing chemistry.
Neil Kikariga, I'm going to pronounce that as...
All right.
Yeah. Anywho.
I'm listening to a very interesting podcast called The History of English at the moment, Ron. And at the moment they're sort of going through the sounds.
Only history there is.
Not of our culture, darling, of our language. And it's done by an American. So why is he doing it? He can't even speak it himself.
Yeah, speak American, motherfucker.
Pew, pew. But it's quite interesting.
No, not at the school.
Oh, no. It's quite an interesting bit in there about why we have C and K and why C changes its sound and stuff. And there was a whole bit on how K just kind of dropped away from the Greek alphabet. The Romans didn't really use it. For them, a C was always a K sound. And then like Middle English people, scribes brought K back in to clarify things. But then he was like explaining how the vowels A, E, I, O, and U, like A, E, O, are like back of the throat ones, whereas I and or something are front of the mouth vowels. Like there's two vowels that you more make the sound with the front of your mouth than the throat, than the back of your mouth. And like English follows this rule where if it's like cat, cup, like that sort of thing, it is a C, U, or like CA, but you'd very rarely get KA. Like K would be for E or I and stuff like that, but I think it's KA and KU very rarely exists in the English language for words that have come from Latin. Like the only one, like the example he gave was like, oh, kangaroo, but obviously that word didn't come to us through Latin, but you tend to use the C on those vowels. It was very interesting. I recommend the History of English podcast if anybody finds that sort of etymology and history and language changing interesting.
Only once you listen to all of this one, though.
Oh yeah, don't switch this off now and go there.
Righty-ho, Laura, should we do some bloody science and stuff?
Yes, mate, let's finish this chemistry. Let's put it into a burning coffin and fire it out to sea. Laura,
what happened? So you live in a shit-infested hovel. When one of your shits goes in the toilet on the rare occasion, what happens to all of the water that you flushed it down with?
Goes with the poop.
Yep, and then what happens?
To a treatment plant.
Yes, we treat our water, don't we? And then once we've treated it real good and nice, we can drink it again.
Well, actually, at the moment, I think my poops might be going straight in the sea. That's what I can gather from...
No, Laura, they're going into rivers that flow into the sea.
Okay.
Actually, you're in Brighton.
Yeah.
Maybe it is just going straight into a surfer's eye or something.
I'm pretty sure Fergal Sharkey told me it was going in the sea.
Yeah. Is that the guy from that band?
Yeah, who's really into river clean now.
Yeah. Good man. There's 4 different ways, Laura. 4 different things that they do to clean the water. First, though, you've got to get number 1, not first. Well, yes, first, but not first as in before the 4 ways. First as in first of the 4 ways. Okay? Did that make you right? You still following?
I don't know if that bit needed following so much, unless in the exam they're going to say, and make sure these go in order.
No, they might, but I don't know. So what I do quite often, I look at the syllabus to find out what we're going through. And then sometimes it's quite sort of like, sometimes it'll be vague and I'm a bit like, this must be a bigger topic than that. So then I go to BBC Bite Size because they often just like flesh it out with the right examples and stuff. Bite Size has been a lifesaver for this podcast.
That came out around the time I was doing my GCSEs, I think.
The BBC, yeah, that does scan. Anyway, and then so I went on BBC Bite Size for this topic, and it was basically just copy and paste from the syllabus. So there's not much to learn here. Laura, what's the deal with human waste? Why is that bad for now, for us?
Is it because we're carnivores?
No.
Full of microplastic.
Now, but as we discussed in an episode recently, it's just kind of fine, isn't it? Microplastic's not hurting us, probably. They're
all in testicles, I read this morning. Your balls are full of microplastics.
Maybe.
Well, it's full of bacteria. Is that what it is?
That's part of it. Why is human poo bacteria the worst?
For us?
Yeah.
Because it must be bacteria we don't want, or our bodies would have kept it.
Well, yeah, because it's all related to, it's all human bacteria, yeah. Whereas, like, horse bacteria can't infect us. There's also lots of nitrogen compounds in human waste.
Oh.
So, which can be harmful to aquatic ecosystems. So we shouldn't just pump it into the water all the time.
Yeah, Thames water.
Industrial waste, Laura, that can have lots of harmful chemicals in it, okay?
Yeah.
Such as toxic metal compounds.
Ooh.
Agricultural wastewater, that can have fertilizers and pesticides in it, which...
lots of nitrogen.
Yeah, have you ever heard of eutrophication?
No.
That's where fertilizers flow into the rivers, and then the algae goes, oh, delicious fertilizers, and we're plants. And then the algae goes, pow! Changes the ecosystem of the water loads and kills off all the fish and stuff.
Yeah, I think with all these things, it's about just not flooding it with loads of one thing, because that's never good for an ecosystem, is it?
Yeah.
An ecosystem is a delicate balance.
Too fucking right. Sorry. And pesticides are just poison, so don't put poison in the water.
And don't use them in your gardens.
No. Do you use natural pesticides like birds?
I'm trying, but they won't eat the slugs. They only want my fat balls, Henry Bell.
Well, because you're feeding them. So it's like, oh, I'm so full of fat balls, Henry Bells. And I cannot, why would I chase that slug?
Yeah, they are all Heimlich from Bug's Life. That is how all my birds talk.
Now on to the 4 things.
I use chili powder to stop the foxes digging up my bulbs.
How did that go down?
Yeah, pretty good. They've left them alone recently. I used crushed up eggshells the other day to save some of my sunflowers.
That's good. I feel, you're progressing in your witchiness.
I don't think you should call me a witch.
I don't think you should collect dog teeth in a box, but...
I haven't got them. You threw them away.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the other day I saw somebody on Instagram who makes people's dog teeth into jewellery, and I was so mad at you that you'd thrown away her dog teeth.
Her rotten little specks.
They weren't rotten.
Hideous. If you keep Child of the Podcast's teeth, I'll throw those away too.
I'll throw you away.
Please
and your
don't.
Cat.
Please don't keep her teeth.
I'm going to give you one of her teeth every year for your birthday. In some food, and you won't even know you've eaten them.
You know what? I'm happier with that than you holding on to them.
Great.
So now on to the 4 ways, Laura. The 4
ways of what?
Cleaning water. The first of which, not first before the 4 ways, but first of the 4 ways, is to remove large particles. We call this screening and grit removal.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a canvas sheet, and there's lots of turds on one side and lots of oozy brown water on the other side.
Then what we do is sedimentation. So, you know, like when you see the big tanks of water in sewage treatment plants and they're just gently getting mixed, but you're a bit like, what's going on here?
No, Ron, I've never been to a sewage place. I've never seen these tanks.
Oh, you drive past them on trains all the time.
How do you know what they are?
Because I know what a sewage treatment plant looks like.
Why?
Because I think one of the fundamental differences between you and I is I'm curious about the world, and when I see something that I don't know what it is, I don't just go, "Whoa," and then move on. I go, "Oh, what's that?" Maybe I'll try and find out, or I'll ask someone that's with me.
I just don't think I've ever seen one of these things. Hang on.
You know, there's a sewage treatment plant like 300 metres away from Mum and Dad's house.
Yeah, but you can't see it.
You can if you look at it.
Well, I don't think I've ever looked at it. Oh, they look like big clocks on the floor.
Yeah, you must have seen these things before.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this from the air, Ron. That's flat. You wouldn't even see that from the floor.
You see it from a train window.
I've never seen one of those out of a train window.
You'll start seeing them all the time now.
Oh, good. That'll improve life.
Yeah, so what's happening there is they're just letting the water sediment out. So all the tiny particles just like sink to the bottom, which then produces sewage sludge and effluent.
Ooh.
The effluent.
On that note, I need to go and take my bread out of the oven. Yuck.
Anyway...
Assuming you want that bit cut.
Yeah, props. You're back from your bread, Laura.
Yeah, it was a little flatter than I'd have liked, but probably
most
still
things
delicious.
In your life are.
Not true. I'm Curvilicious babe.
So then we got sludge and effluent, Laura. You know what happens to the sludge?
This doesn't feel chemistry.
That's why we're cruising through it. You know what happens to the sludge?
Gets pumped onto the bottom of the sea.
No, it's digested anaerobically by specific bacteria.
Ooh.
Do you know what anaerobically means?
Without oxygen.
Yep. The effluent is treated with aerobic bacteria to reduce the volume of solid waste, which, it's just, to me, I thought that was the point of the sedimentation. I thought we got rid of the grit removal. We got rid of the poo. Then we sediment to get rid of the small poo bits. So what's in the effluent?
Even more small poo. Like, you know, sometimes you do a poo and it's just loads of tiny beads instead of a big log. It's those ones. I read a really harrowing thing about poo the other day. There was somebody who was like, look, I get it. Our bodies don't digest sweet corn. So I eat it and then I poop it out. But listen, I'm looking at my poop and there's full sweet corns in there, even though I know I chewed it. What the fuck is happening? And then someone replied and was like, well, do you know what that is? It's because even when you're biting a sweet corn, you're biting down, the middle's popping out, but the outside's really tough. It's really hard to chew down the outsides. So what you're pooping out is those outsides, and they look reinflated because they're now full of your shit. And then someone else was replying like, that is horrible. Imagine getting eaten and then someone just poops out your skin full of their own shit. Blech.
I'm going to move on now. We're going to skip this bit because that seems dull and it's higher tier only. And we're on to the last section, Laura, the last chemistry section. Do you want to say anything?
All of this syllabus peters out. It's like they know that children's attention spans come summer are like, not interested. And so they just go like, oh, there's some pipes. Do you want to talk about poo? Okay, if you look over here, we can talk about poo. Because this is not where, like, we've learned some really fascinating things about the universe in this. And now we're literally talking about shit.
We're doing, Laura, the life cycle assessment 5.10.2.1. Do you know what a life cycle assessment is?
No, Ron.
Life cycle assessments are carried out to assess the environmental impact of products in 4 different stages. Okay?
Yeah.
So, first, and that's the first of the 4 stages, not a first stage before the 4 stages in the main bit. What's the first stage of making a thing, Laura?
Collecting the materials.
The raw materials, exactly. So we have to work out what the environmental impact of collecting those materials is going to be. Ugh. Oh, goodness, I've coughed on myself. Ugh. Oh, gross.
Is it really wet?
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
Are you just sitting there covered in your own phlegm? This is easily the most disgusting episode we've ever done.
Yeah, poo and phlegm.
If you had to eat a cupful of anything, your own poo or someone else's phlegm.
How big a cup?
A mug.
It's got to be the phlegm.
This Lexx Education mug.
It's got to be the phlegm.
It's a dirty smoker.
That's fine. That's just seasoning.
Okay.
Anywho, the raw materials. I might cut that as well. That's rancid. The raw materials, Laura. What affects how much energy or whatever the raw materials impact is?
What was that question? That wasn't a question. You gave up on it on like the 3rd word. What are you saying?
What affects raw materials energy, you know?
Whether they're sustainable raw materials. So like if you have to quarry for lithium or stuff, the cost of it. So like the human wage cost and the health factor, how much it destroys the local environment, I guess, like does chopping down or quarrying it itself produce a lot of waste that has to go into the local water table and stuff?
Absolutely. So the two big ones there, using up limited resources such as ores and crude oils, and damaging habitats through quarrying, mining, or felling trees.
Yeah.
What's the next stage of making a thing?
Manufacture.
Yes, are you reading this?
No.
Oh, that's exactly the word that it has in this, and it was 4 syllables, so I thought you might have been reading it. What's going to...
What? You think I can't remember 4-syllable words?
I think you very rarely use them.
Fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself, yep. 1 and 2.
Okay, well, I can't think of any off the top of my head. But insults don't tend to be 4 syllables.
So...
Insults don't tend to be quadrilaterally polysyllabic.
So we got land use for manufacturing. How much land does it take to make a thing? And then...
How much energy?
Yeah, the use of machines and people. How much energy those are using. Yeah? What's the next stage of making a thing? Or not even necessarily making a thing. What's the next stage of a thing?
Packaging and distribution.
No.
Life length of the product?
Kind of. So it's use. The use of the thing. So different things will have a different environmental impact when they're being
Stop
used.
playing with whatever you're playing with on your microphone. It's so tappy and annoying.
It's gone. Fine.
Good. God, you and Dad, you just tap, tap, tap all day.
Tapper, tapper, tapper. I've broken my desk. So different things will have different energy use while they're in use. If you...
Oh, yeah.
For example, the pinnacle of human achievement, the wheelbarrow.
The 4x4. Oh.
A wheelbarrow, once you've made it, basically no energy, right?
That's why they're so great. So much better than a helicopter, which is incredibly energy inefficient, I believe.
But something like, let's say a T-shirt that maybe has like, I don't know, Bugs Bunny on it, that does have an energy cost while it's in use.
Does it? Oh, to be washed.
Because it needs to be washed, yeah.
Yeah.
So those things, or like
possibly ironed if you're a really fancy person.
yeah, if you're a really fancy Looney Tunes fan, if you're not that loony, to be honest, yeah, or things like a car or a helicopter, they're going to have.
I'm just a sensible Toons fan.
Yeah, just a Sensey.
I just like all the straight men. Sensey Toons.
Sensey Tunes. And then what's stage 4, Laura? After use.
Disposal.
That's again exactly the word. You are reading this, aren't you?
I'm not reading it, Ron. I'm just a smart girl who knows a lot about manufacturing.
What in disposal? What's going to affect that?
Whether it can be recycled and broken down into component parts, I think, or reused or fixed, or whether it's going to go into landfill. And then if it is going to go into landfill, like how long does that take to break down, and does it leach out anything as it's breaking down?
Exactly.
Like every single nappy, they so far predict that they will survive for 450 years.
That's bleak.
Yeah. And crisp packets, like they last forever. Like you always find those in mud.
Yeah, so that's what an LCA is, Laura. What we're going to do now is we're going to compare LCAs of two different things. Yeah?
Okay.
Sorry, that was just me punching the mic with my hand.
It's all right. You've been doing it all episode. We're used to the noise.
Okay, so we're going to do plastic carrier bags versus paper carrier bags.
Oh, right.
Okay, so can you compare these two things in stage 1 and 2?
Okay,
sorry,
so
stage one. Stage 1. Just
stage
do stage
1 of a plastic bag. Plastic comes from like crude oil offshoots, I think. So a non-sustainable source.
Yep.
With paper bags, you either have to have deforestation or more likely it's a recycled paper.
Yep.
You're probably not going to use virgin paper for something like that.
What about the energy involved in the two? Can you speak to that?
Probably more for plastic because it probably requires higher energy to distill the crude oil and get it out than chopping down a tree.
Absolutely.
I could probably make paper with a couple of months of training. I don't think I could dig any crude oil out.
Honey peanuts. What about the manufacturing process?
Well, I'm going to say that making a paper bag is much simpler because we've been doing that for hundreds of years, whereas plastic's relatively new. So way fewer chemical offshoots, I'd have thought, and a much lower energy process to make a paper bag.
No, actually.
Oh.
It's way cheaper to make plastic bags.
Yeah, cheaper,
Yeah.
but not fewer chemical offshoots, surely.
It says here that I think it's to do with the complexity of the process, because like cheaper in this sense is also talking to like the energy of it, where
But is it cheaper because they're using an offshoot of crude oil? Like, are they using an oil off product that's being mined anyway? So you can buy the base product for cheaper.
I don't know. I don't think so, because the raw materials cost of paper bags is cheaper. But then when it comes to the manufacturing, it comes down to processes. In a carrier, like a plastic carrier bag, it's all one bit of plastic. Whereas when you make a paper bag, it's usually had to have a paper handle glued onto it, which then adds to that quite a lot. What about the use, Laura?
Well, it varies. It really varies. It depends on the structure of the plastic bag. Like, plastic bags can last, like, it's very dependent on what type of paper bag we're talking about and what kind of plastic bag we're talking about, Ron.
It is.
They're used for similar things, but it varies massively because sometimes a plastic bag lasts for ages. Sometimes it breaks real quick. Paper bags, sometimes they're really good and nice and thick, and sometimes it rains and it falls apart.
So it says here that plastic carrier bags during their use actually have a lower impact on the environment because they can be used many times, whereas paper bags only a limited number of reuses.
But I think plastic bags have a limited number of reuses too. They rip and they break a lot.
Well, yeah, but like Mount Rushmore has a limited number of reuses. That's all relative. And then the last one is disposal.
Well, paper bags can be recycled or are biodegradable, and plastic bags live forever in dolphins' lungs.
Well done, Laura. That's LCAs. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, common sense science is common sense.
Yeah. The last bit, Laura, is about ways of reducing the use of resources.
Just stop it. Stop everything.
Well, it's basically recycle, use less.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Exactly.
Biodiesel from cooking oils. Thanks, McDonald's.
When I was in Brussels at the weekend, there was a recycling box where you could put your old frying oil, because the Belgians love frying stuff so much they have to have those just on the street.
Oh, did you get your air fryer yet?
Yeah.
What have you made?
Vegetables, courgette patties. I made chips.
Nice. I
Yeah.
cooked my falafel in mine yesterday.
It's good. I do need to get some of that spray for when it's supposed to be fried, less oveny, but yeah.
Yeah. Then you want to get some hash browns on in there, mate.
Laura, we just fucking finished chemistry, man.
Yes! 2 down, 1 to go. 2 down, 1 to go.
Should we have a look at how much
2 down,
biology
1 to
we've
go.
got?
We got 2 down, 1 to go. Boop, 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 boop.
Do, 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 diddle, do, do, boop,
In
biddly,
the
bow.
whole wide world, and she's learned absolutely everything there is to learn. There's simply nothing left to learn if your name is Laura and you're a girl and you're wearing headphones talking to Ron, and he has got his little frown on because he's looking for more information.
Oh, there's actually loads of biology left.
Bloody hell, biology.
Yeah.
Should we just only do biology until biology's done?
I guess no. I think once we finish recapping physics and chemistry, then we'll just bang out the rest of biology, including a recap.
Okay.
And then we need to work out what we're doing.
We're kind of recapping physics and chemistry at the same pace we learned it in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Ron. Well, I'll see you for the final chemistry quiz.
Yeah, exciting.
You have to quiz me as well as tuning the guitar, though, Ron. I found my notebook, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think these might be high gauge strings.
What does that mean?
I think I had this in, like, open C or something. That's fun, isn't it?
That's really fun.
Let's put that away.
Do you want to take that home with you today?
No, give it to Dad. I'm not going home today, am I?
Well, you're going back closer to Dad than I am.
I'm not going home today, am I?
Oh, not today, no. For when you do go home.
No.
Okay, I'm going to burn your Asterix books.
That's fine.
Do you just not want them?
I don't feel like they should be thrown away, though. Give them to Mum. She likes frivolous cartoons.
You're a weird guy, Ron.
What have I done?
So can it not be tuned now that you've had it in open C?
It can't be tuned with this.
By the way, we mean that as in a music way, not it's been in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah. And I can't do it right now.
Okay. Well, that is a curse and a blessing.
Because higher gauge strings are thicker, so that if you tighten them up to a normal thing...
Maybe I'm a higher gauge string.
Yeah, you're like half a ukulele.
A uka.
Judith was showing me a musical comedian that she's discovered in the last year that she really likes, and she was like telling me all about it. And she goes, "Yeah, she plays this tiny little guitar. It's amazing." It was a ukulele.
She just never heard of ukuleles before.
Apparently never.
Oh, Judith, you basic bitch.
Oh, that's very, very funny. Right, should we do a bit of a quiz?
Yeah.
Well, we've been recording for 10 minutes now.
I don't think all of that's quiz, though.
No, most of it's not.
Only 2 minutes of it's quiz.
Laura, there's lots of points available in today's quiz.
Okay.
Are you ready? Can you remember what we were doing in the bulk of this episode?
Sewage.
Yeah, and? So, I won't play with the lock.
For sewage.
And?
Oh, manufacturing.
LCAs, yeah. So, Laura, what are the 4 stages of an LCA?
Resources, manufacturing, distribution, lifespan of the product, disposal of the product. That's 5. Maybe it's not distribution.
Yeah, give me 4. What are your 4?
Okay, my 4 are going to be resource collection, manufacturing, life sort of style of the product, and then disposal of the product.
Those are the 4!
Yes!
Woo! Very nice. Very, very nice, actually. Okay, Laura, now, can you please compare a plastic bag and a paper bag across these 4 stages?
So, a carrier bag needs paper, which is either virgin wood, probably not good, or you could use recycled wood. Plastic needs oil extraction in some way, oil offshoots. It's cheaper, though, to make plastic bags than it is to make paper bags. Paper bags don't last as long as plastic bags, though they say, but I question that, but that I won't be allowed to say that in an exam. And then the paper bag biodegrades and the plastic bag does not.
Yes, another 4 marks.
I'm smashing it.
Yeah.
Real world science is so much better than like highfalutin doesn't matter science.
Do you want to tell everyone about your new invention?
Can do. So I was delivering flyers for the Green Party the other day, and it was hurting my hand, pushing them through letterboxes, and I got a bruise on the back of my hand, and it started to hurt the skin. And I invented like an A4 plastic, almost like a clipboard type thing with a little holder, and you would put the paper on that, push it through, and then using a little clippy handle would let go of the piece of paper, and it would be in the house without you having to put
so
your
you haven't
hand.
built it yet?
No, not yet. I've just invented it in my head, like Michelangelo's helicopter.
So you kind of... Right.
Da Vinci's helicopter. Whose helicopter? Da Vinci.
So you've come up with the idea, but you haven't invented it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, right.
Well, I have invented it. I think the idea is the invention.
No, but you have to pull it off, because I could invent a dog that wears Speedos.
So
but...
Da Vinci didn't invent a helicopter then?
No. Well, I think he at least worked out that it would work.
Yeah, well, so would my thing. I've worked it out.
Well, you don't know that it would work.
I do know.
No, you
How could
don't.
it not work? It's so fucking simple.
Because, so you've got a clipboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the paper's just going to flop off of it, and you can't get that in.
Yes, you can, because it'll be clipped, and it'll be going in that direction.
Clipped at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to flop down.
Yeah, but that's okay, because then when it goes through, it's like flopping down in my hand anyway.
So you're going to shove this, far into someone's house?
Yeah, well, you'd only have to get it so that the paper flopped on the other side.
Yeah, that's 2 A4's worth into the house.
No, that's 1 A4's worth.
2, because it's going to be flopped back, so you're going to have to push until the flop
No,
is
because you can have
fully
the
in.
clip on the other side, you fucking idiot.
Well, you didn't say that. Then why is it flopping if it's clipped at both sides?
Because it would flop that way, but then as you pushed it in, it would go in, and then flop on the other side, and then you drop it down.
That does work better.
Yes, that's what I invented.
It seems like it'll be slow.
It was slow anyway, because you had to mush your hand through all of that, brush
Letterbox
stuff.
Yeah.
And my hand felt dirty by the end. If I did it again or became a postman, I'd wear gloves. But
Maybe that should be your invention.
What, gloves?
Gloves.
But I was hot.
What about gloves that are just on the back?
Because also, if you took this invention to the next level, say, you could maybe invent a more complicated one where you put all your leaflets into this device and then it shunts the next one down.
That's what you need.
And then you release that one, poo-poom, out. Release that one, poo-poom, out.
Because I think you'd be on the street and then you'd be trying to clip it in and then... And I think eventually you'd just be ugh, and you start throwing it. But if it was just... then...
Pretty
maybe.
cool invention.
Yeah. What about sideways?
Sideways what?
Letterboxes.
It would just work the same. It'd be fine.
Okay.
Because also if it was on a stick, then once the block was through, you just swizzle it or whatever, do it
Yeah, sure.
And you could hit mean dogs. I would never hit a dog, but
Only
they
the mean
barked
ones.
at me a lot.
Anyway, whoops. For what's under here? Puzzles?
Pilot, yeah, some puzzles, some books, and maybe some buttons.
No, the buttons are here.
No, there is a box of knitting buttons,
Oh.
a laptop box,
Here's just 2 loose buttons in a
a
bag.
copy of my book, a copy of, I think, a book of yours called Secret Brighton.
Oh.
I don't think you wanted it when you left. Thanks for that book one.
Well,
and
you live
one
in
puzzle.
Brighton. You could know all the things.
Well, maybe I would, but it was just up in the roof where you put your bags of shite.
I didn't take them up to the roof. I left that for you to see.
I'm just going to start leaving stuff at your house.
You never come to my house.
No. When are you buying a house?
Soon, hopefully. Times are ticking.
What do you mean times are ticking?
To buy a house.
Yeah, the market's gone flat.
Yeah.
But actually, don't you want to wait for it to crash and then buy one? You don't want to buy it now while they're all expensive.
Yeah, but who knows how long I'll be living in the UK.
Ugh, don't leave the UK again. It's so annoying when you leave the UK.
Anyway, for 8 marks, Laura, what are the 4 stages of cleaning poo out of water, and what do the 4 stages do?
Too many. Stop fiddling!
You're fiddling too!
Quiet things, though. Absolutely no one knows what I'm fiddling with because it's quiet.
Look at this big spot I've got on my leg.
Ugh, that's massive.
Yeah. But it's completely flat. It's just red.
Is that a bite? I think you've been bitten.
I don't think so. I think it's a hair.
Could be an ingrown hair.
Yeah, I think it's an ingrown hair.
Dig it with something unclean.
Oh, I will. Probably while during a work meeting and I'll be really distracted.
So there was like sifting the poo, putting a chemical in the poo, sifting the poo again. 8 stages?
No, I said for 8 marks, what are the 4 stages?
Oh.
And what do they do?
So it was a big sift. First of all, there was a big sift. And then there was...
What does the big sift do?
It gets out big lumps of nug. And toilet paper and crud.
Grit.
Birds that have died. Oh my god, have you seen the bird imprint on our kitchen window?
No.
It's majestic. A bird flew in, I'll show you when we go downstairs, but a bird flew into our window and it's proper got its wings like this. There's an eye mark. You can see that. I think it's a magpie.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's cool.
Oh, I made tea.
It's over there.
Oh, I'm going to drink that. So big sift to get the grit out. Then it's like they put an enzyme in it, I think, that eats up stuff. And then they swirl it round. And then they do another grit sift. I remember there were 2 sifts because we were like, you've just done this. Why are you doing it again? But it definitely swirls round in a big silo that can be seen from trains. I remember you loved shit spotting on trains. 8 marks, well done me.
2 marks.
What?
There's a sift, there's a screening and grit removal process. Then there's sedimentation. Then there's anaerobic digestion of sewage sludge.
Said that.
No, you didn't?
I did. I said they put an enzyme in there.
Yeah, which isn't what that is.
But you know that's the bit I was referring to.
Yeah, but you have to say the right thing.
Ugh.
And then there's aerobic biological treatment of effluent. There is only one screening.
Oh.
It's over.
So, did you enjoy the quiz, everyone? It's the outros now, Ron.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Is it weird to keep teeth?
Yeah.
Glad you agree.
I don't think it's weird to keep teeth.
Then why did you just say yeah?
Because we talked about it in this episode.
Yeah, but why did you...
Oh, I thought I was saying, yeah, that's in my notes to discuss.
Yeah.
How do other people feel about keeping their pets/children's teeth?
It's weird.
Yeah, but I bet the listeners will agree with me.
Yeah, our listeners are weird.
Yeah, I love them.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I think it's normal. Has anybody else kept their pet's teeth? Is this a new t-shirt you're wearing?
Yes.
I've never seen this t-shirt before.
It is, and a new shirt.
Oh. Hi, baby! The shirt's more in your wheelhouse, though, whereas the t-shirt, that's quite a new look for you.
Yeah, I decided not just black t-shirts now.
Oh. Now that you're out of your morning phase.
I know, I was wearing the black t-shirts for years. Hello.
Did you have fun at nursery?
Yeah.
What did you play with today?
Mom,
Yeah?
it's maybe others. No.
You are upstairs now, aren't you?
Oh, I it.
Okay, hold Uncle Ron's hand, be careful.
Yeah.
You're going to say something on the podcast?
Hey, Mama, tell Mama.
Oh,
That is a guitar.
that's Grandpa's guitar.
It's not in tune.
Wow, you are covered in muck. Is that your lunch
all
all over
this.
your shorts?
No, I think it's paint.
Oh, it's your fire station. Are you going to take it downstairs and show it to Daddy?
No.
You need to go downstairs, so it's time for a rest. You can take the fire station with you. And then go with Daddy, alright, my love?
Mama.
Hello, you.
Hey, Mama.
Well, I'm doing a podcast with Uncle Ron.
Mama, maybe up.
No, you can come back up later, okay?
Say bye, Mum. I love you.
Mama, bye, Mama.
Bye.
Love you.
Say bye, Uncle Ron. Love you.
Bye, Mama.
Bye, love.
Bye, Mama.
Bye.
Run.
Mama.
Bye, love.
Bye,
Bye.
I love that she calls you Ron.
I guess it's Mama and Dad and Ron.
But she really specifically calls him Dad.
Yeah. It's very cute.
Ron.
Ron.
Because before it was raw. She didn't say the N at all, and now she's really overpronouncing it. Raw. And now it's run.
Ron.
So there, I don't know how much of that will stay in, but basically we just got invaded by the small child.
Yep.
It's a big thank you to Eric. Oh, I've got to read it. Okay. Eric is a Lexx Education international man of mystery. What's in this episode? We don't know. We'll never know. Well, Laura will when she finishes editing it, but Ron may never hear this episode. That's odd, isn't it? That it's just out there, unknown and alive in the ethos. Eric likes to wear a question mark suit and has a tall perm and sandals. He enjoys... Don't laugh, you're shaking the laptop. He enjoys holidays in the Ardennes. Ardennes. And salsa music, but not salsa on his nachos, only sour cream on Eric's nachos. That's too creamy, Eric. Thank you, Eric. If you would like a personalised thank you and access to our Discord and access to all of our bonus episodes...
Yeah, the content is the main thing.
I'm getting there, you fucking chode. Loads and loads of extra episodes. I was going to say spare episodes then, that's not what it is. But bonus episodes, including the one that's just gone out last Friday, which is an exploration into a news story about Chernobyl mutant wolves that you may have seen a couple of months ago. We finally got around to talking about that. That's out. You can get our fiction writing, which actually the next episode will be as well, our short stories about the boy and sea. There's so much fun bonus content there, and you help us to pay for all the software costs, the captioning stuff, the hosting, all of that stuff. And, we put 5 or 6 hours a week into this, really, with a lot of editing, and sometimes it feels like we should not be doing that and we should be doing more worthwhile things. But the closer it becomes to being a functional business, the easier it is to justify the time we spend on it. So if you can support us, do it.
Nice pitch.
Thanks, mate.
What shall I mark that one down on the spreadsheet?
Earnest. Earnest and reasonable.
Right, okay.
Earnest and reasonable, and we'll see how many people that
Starting
gets.
spreadsheet now. Not in episode 104 folder. That would be madness.
That would be crazy. Okay, well, listen, listeners. Listen, lab rats. We'll see you next week. Wait, so it's only biology that we still got going as norms?
No more quizzes for 2/3.
Oh, yeah! Ron, say class dismissed.
Hang on. So if you want to reward earnest and reasonable, please sign up now. Class dismissed.